welcome everyone, and thank you all for joining me. It's so nice to have a bit of company. It's a little dark. Let's see if we can. I'm playing around with light at the moment. I don't know if that makes. Is that any better? We'll try that. So let's take right hand in fist, please, and left hand straight, pull back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and we salute you somehow. And thank you so much, Willem. It's lovely to have another teacher on the floor. So let's get started with open stance, please. We're going to float up through the top of the head. We were just chatting about standing practice. We're going to have a little go at some Wuji. So let's feel the top of the head nice and light, the chin slightly down and back. And we're looking for a feeling of release. Allow yourself to slip into that silent state of listening, feeling, and letting go. Let's find all 10 fingers and gently stretch them down, keeping the top of the head light. Continue to listen, feel, and let go. So in Master Locke's practice, he encourages a half-hour stand of Wuji. So unlike the Chen style that floats the arms up, with Master Locke, this is enough. He encourages us to stand in a beautiful spot, in fresh air, and simply let go in good posture. You'll probably find that within a few seconds, you're starting to feel really nice and relaxed. However, if you do take that time, especially if you're out in a beautiful surrounding in nature, the relaxation and the depth of the experience becomes more profound. It becomes more indelible. The relaxation spreads out inside you. So never be afraid to give it that little bit more time, even after you feel truly and deeply relaxed. Be present in the moment. Be aware of the flow of breath. Even if you can feel your heart rate, the heartbeat. And the constant transition of the here and now. Notice any tension trying to emerge. And with your breath, follow it, release into it, and let it go. Even in Wuji, we want to approach it with a playful attitude of, ooh, what's this? Experience each moment as if you've never experienced a moment before. Enjoy it and let it go. And for now, let's bring our awareness back to our surroundings, to the body itself, picturing the space around you. And if your eyes are closed, we can slowly and gently open the eyes. Very good. Having a mirror can be very useful as well. We tend to have traits of misalignment, and even though it may feel perfectly level, using a mirror can give you a little guidance to release or adjust. But primarily, relaxation is key. So feel your hands now. How do they feel? Do you feel your fingertips? Do you feel the fingers themselves are nice and full? Notice that there is a buoyancy that comes with relaxation. We call it pang. It's an expansion that happens as the energy flows. So let's now release and go into our open door 5. Let's rest level with the waist. Feel into your posture. Release into the structure. And let's give our back a little rub. Good. Now, traditionally, we would do 36 rubs. So you might want to speed it up, but make sure it's comfortable to do it. So if your palms doesn't feel good, maybe use the back of the palms or the fists. And if for whatever reason it's not comfortable to do it, then just don't do it. You can leave it out. It might be nice even if you get a friend or partner to rub your back for you. Good. Hold your back again and breathe into it. And relax down. And I'd like to do open door 5 one more time. I feel it's so useful. It's a lovely wee set. It's very simple. As Master Locke describes it, it's kind of the primordial state of energetic flow. In my mind, it's like brownie in motion. That's that movement that you see in a nice hot cup of tea. You see these little eddies and movements, that the energy's flowing, but we haven't quite yet formalized it. We're just letting it flow, opening the gates. So let's go again, please. Check posture. And relax to center. Good, let's begin. Let's do another one of these. You can see I'm a bit fluid with my repetitions. Sometimes I'll just do one, sometimes I'll do two. You can go with the flow within yourself. Good. Let's do movement 2 of the 7 stars rotations. So we're going to turn the waist, gently roll the ball. And remember, the size of your ball, or rather the size of the turn, is dependent on your comfortable levels. So if it hurts, try making it a little bit smaller and softer. The smaller you go, the gentler you have to go. Good, let's change direction with an S shape. I want to talk a little bit about S shapes in a minute. Remind me. Very good, let's turn the palms and draw in and float up, expand. Same on the upper level. Again, the size of your turn is determined by your comfort levels. All things being equal, we're turning to 45 degrees to each side. But you can reduce that as necessary. Good, let's draw our S shape. Sorry, there we go. Very good. And let's just finish there, take a breath. And relax down. Excellent. And we'll just give the shoulders a little bit of movement. Yeah, I want to talk about this S shape because I've noticed sometimes when I'm doing it and when Willem does it, it looks a little bit different. And really the S shape is just a really neat way of changing direction without ever stopping the momentum. So it reminds me of the Mobius loop, if you're into maths, this idea of a change of direction without stopping and starting. It's really interesting. So the way I have been doing it, I go to the furthest point from in my circle. So I'm drawing the yin yang, and then I'm drawing the S towards myself. So if I lean forwards, you'll see I'm going out and round, and then I'm drawing the S towards myself to change direction. But I have a feeling, are you doing it the S shape sideways or not?
Well, I'm not very strict to where I'm. Technically, yes, I think furthest point draw the S shape in.
Mm-hmm.
But when the energy flows, it might happen a little bit before that, and the S shape might be smaller as well or bigger. You don't have to go through the absolute center of the circle.
Yeah.
So if you imagine this is your circle in front, furthest point away, you can make an S shape, come through the center of the circle, and you're close to your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it could as well be that my circle starts here, makes a smaller S shape, connect to the outside of the circle again, change. So it's a bit fluid.
Yeah, I know it's lovely playing with another practitioner and another teacher, someone else who's worked with Master Lock, but even just playing with anyone else who does Tai Chi, because you see them doing things differently, or you perceive that their way of understanding it is different, and that has an influence on us as well. So it's really useful to play with other people, basically. Yeah. But I noticed that Willem had been doing it slightly differently, and then I started trying to draw the S shape from the side as opposed to away and towards, and it's quite nice as well. Yeah. So I'm drawing the S shape that way. That makes sense. So if I bend forward, so instead of going furthest from and towards, I was going around and cutting through that way. If that makes sense, drawing the S shape that way. Or think of like a, half a figure of 8. Yeah. Sideways on. It's interesting.
Sometimes I experiment with spirals as well. And the S shape is actually, you can see it as a spiral. So let's just do this one just to get the idea. Yeah. Let's do like sunshine fills the hall. You can turn your palms facing inwards towards your body, and we just circle. Can make it, let's make it quite big, whatever that means for you. Now the S shape Jane is talking about, next time we're up, let's make an S shape down. We can get to the highest point, cut through the middle, and circle the other way. Yeah, let's do that one more time next time we're up. So from the top, S shape through the center, down. When I'm talking about spirals, I think we've all done this at some stage, if you've done Tai Chi for a while. Let's make the circle a bit smaller every time. So we're spiraling inwards to the center. This you can do over 5 turns, over 20 turns, over 100 turns, but it gets smaller. So we spiral to the center. When we get to the center, it might be the smallest of S shapes. That means then we're going the opposite way, and we start from small, make it bigger, make it bigger. And it's the same idea. Just when you draw your normal S shape, you just use half a spiral to go into the center instead of 10 or 20 spirals around.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gets a bit funny if you do about 3 spirals in 3 times. Let's make it smaller. So next time we're at the top, next circle is smaller and smaller and all the way to the center, turning around. Make it bigger, make it bigger, make it bigger. And then again, if you want to change, we can make it smaller. 1 smaller, 2 smaller, 3 smaller, and changing. Does that make sense?
That's lovely, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely does. It's
Okay, let's cross that.
Thank you very much.
That's my little exploration on S shapes.
Very good, lovely. Thank you very much. See what I mean? Isn't that really cool? So as we get advanced or more advanced in our Tai Chi practice, and I say that with, with fingers crossed, because Master Lock looked at our work and said, you're doing okay for beginners. And Willem and I looked at each other and thought, flipping heck, we've been doing this for a long time. But we were beginners in his practice, and we're always beginners. And that's the good way to think. The beginner's mind is the key to improving. So you'll find no matter what level you get to, little things, simple things become exciting and interesting and suck you into a whole new level of investigation. So the S shape isn't just a change of direction, it can become a practice in itself. Like Willem said, he played with it, and that's what he found, that the spiral getting smaller leads you into that center to then change direction. So wow, yeah, really cool. Thank you very much. So I think beginners get very excited and are happy to do basics, and then as folks get a little bit more advanced, they get annoyed with basics and they want to do complex. But actually, if you keep going, in your practice, you start to find the basic stuff exciting, and that's where all the treasure is, you know, that's where all the opportunities for expansion, that's where it is. The complex stuff is just the sort of cream on top that when you apply those basic principles, you get the good stuff. All right, so let's ease out of our stance, please. We've done movements 1 and 2. Let's do movement 3 of the 7 stars, and then we'll move into our form. So each week we're just doing a little bit of basic work, and yeah, we'll do some stretching as well in a minute. That's good, yeah. All right, movement 3 then, please. So can we take our hands to level with the chest? And we're going to open, think of gathering your energy and forming it into your bubble or bowl, draw it in towards the forehead, squash in, release to the temples, eyebrow corners down the face and neck. Like you're opening a heavy coat, we open at the chest, the fingers point into the body, directing the chi. Make sure the knees remain in line with the toes, doesn't matter how low you go. But it does matter that you keep your structure, and rest. Good, check posture. Relaxing to center. Good, give yourself a moment. This particular exercise is very deep. We're guiding the energy through the pathways of the body, and you'll feel your body respond. So give it time. Pay attention to heart rate, breathing, any sensations, and let go. And let's go again. Deep breath. Gather. Draw into the forehead, point to the corners of the eyebrows, down, face and neck, and open. Feed through the body. Check posture. Relax to center. One more set, please. Gather. Even though you're not touching your body, feel the awareness of your fingertips guiding your energy. Checking posture. Relaxing to center. Good, release, relax, down. Now we're going to do a little stretch for the legs. I'm going to grab a chair because I'm going to show you the chair-based version, and Willem can do the standing-based version. Again, you'd think that sitting on a chair would make things so much easier, but actually I find when I'm seated, I have to go a lot gentler. So if we do the movement where we take a step forwards with one foot, Willem, if you can do that for me, please. And we're taking the hands to the knee and folding forwards from the hips. That looks pretty extreme, doesn't it? But we just want a nice stretch. So if you're standing, you can do what Willem's doing. If you're seated, you just stick your leg out and you're already in an angle. So even if you lean slightly forwards, you'll start to feel the stretch. So you only go as far forwards as you can comfortably. But you can see that actually I'm in a very similar position. Now, Willem has gone to about there. But the seated position already has you in a good stretch. So you do what you can comfortably, keeping the spine long. So you're not bending your back, you're lengthening your back. Good. And then pull your toes back. Now we want to brace the front leg with the knee. If you can reach, you can take hold of the same side hand to foot while using the other hand to brace your knee. But if it's too much, don't worry about it. Just keep your hands to your knee and try to keep the leg relatively straight. It's not snapped back in the joint, but just relatively straight. Good. Keep breathing into the stretch and relax, and up you come. Very good. So we can do the same now on the other side. So we take a step forwards. We keep the weight back. So if you're in a chair, that's easy enough. And we use the hands to just above the knee and lengthen the spine. So we're not folding, we're not bending our back. We're lengthening the spine, lengthening through the top of the head and hinging from the hip. Keep breathing, keep relaxing. Good. And then if you can comfortably, pull those toes back. If you can reach, take hold, same side hand to foot, and continue to brace the leg with the opposite hand. And keep breathing. Now, if you can't comfortably reach, don't worry, just keep your hands to your knee and lengthen the spine. The key to stretching is relaxation and breath. So you're not pushing, you're not forcing, you're relaxing. Good, and recover. Well done. Foot down and up you come. Good. So as I say, when you're seated, it's actually, you have to go more gently. I know it seems counterintuitive, but the same as I was saying, if you're doing smaller movements, actually you need to be more gentle. But think of it in terms of the wheel turning. The closer you are to the center of the wheel, the hub, the more intense the energy is. It's very, very powerful in the center of the wheel. Even though it doesn't seem visible, actually there's a lot of power going on there. And the more power we have, the more responsibility we need. So if you're a loose cannon, if you're really pushing yourself when you're seated, you can actually hurt yourself. So you must go very gently and be soft. It is actually a powerful workout. Okay, so let's just have a general stretch. I want you to feel into your body and notice how you feel as you stretch. Make sure it's comfortable. So if you're working with injury or a condition, work within your own comfortable means. Yeah, and you'll know what feels like it needs stretching. You can try hugging, like Willem did earlier, hugging your knee towards your chest. That's a nice wee stretch for your back and your glutes. You can pull your knee across, which stretches the side a little bit further. As Willem's doing, giving his spine a nice stretch. Stretching is one of the best ways to wake up your energy and keep a feeling of youthfulness. That when we feel stiff, we feel old, no matter what age we are. So just movement is very useful to open up and release the system. And a lot of this tension that we get, this stiffness that we get, is fascia. It's literally the sort of sticky stuff within our body sticking to itself, like cobwebs sticking to themselves. So generally moving gently and stretching is one of the best ways to keep yourself feeling young. If you can move comfortably, you'll feel young. If you're like this, even in your 20s, you'll feel old. Okay, good. So let's now have a look at the Phoenix. Willem, do you have some long sleeves you can put on?
Yeah.
Yeah, a dark color.
Well, I have to checkered shirt.
That'll do, that'll do. Okay, so we're going to do the Phoenix together, folks. We'll do it relatively slow. I would like you to pay attention to the plumb line. So that's the top of the head, the byway point remaining, lengthening up throughout, and the body releasing and hanging down. So regardless of whether the arms are going up or down, we want the body to remain upright. Willem, would you like to do the first round?
Phoenix, yeah.
Yes, please.
One side, both sides?
Both sides,
Yeah.
both sides, folks. We have to get used to the second side. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and can I ask you, just folks, just before we start, on the second side, it tends to get quite far away, so
Yeah.
just before, you see when you do the second Phoenix couple return home, can you do a couple of steps back or one big step back? Yeah, just so that you stay close to the screen.
Yeah.
Do you want me to remind you or are you happy?
No, it's fine.
He's great. Okay, off you go, folks. Phoenix in graceful clouds of blessing, left and right.
Heels together, please. Toes slightly out. Standing tall. Little moment of Wuji. Just relax. Do nothing. And let's start to feel to the fingertips and begin. Right hand becomes fist. Step right corner. We'll take a few steps back, like I do. You don't have to. Left hand scoops under. Rotate blue. And second half. Oh, I did something wrong there, sorry. Sit up and get into our circles.
Don't worry.
And
Beautiful, well done. I'd like us to get more feeling of flow for both sides, so we're going to do that again, but this time I'm going to join in and I'm going to show you the mirrored view, so the front view. So it means that Willem and I will be going in the same direction, but if you can't see what his hands are doing, because I see that sometimes they're like, what are their hands doing? So you can watch me. If you have the kind of mind that can work with a mirror view, you can just watch me or you can just watch Willem, but we're going to do it again. And I would like please to focus just on flow. Just relax and let yourself flow. It'll get to the stage where you don't have to think about the form, you know it so well. You can companion your movements the way we do, companioning the body in Wuji, just listen, feel, and let go. So when you're following, to a certain extent, you can do that. As one of our colleagues says, monkey see, monkey do. You just copy. Don't worry about trying to remember. And in that way, you can get into flow quite easily. So we'll give it a go. Yeah? All right. Take a moment and calm. Find all 10 fingers, gently press them down, and begin. Right, if you need to reposition in the room, do it now. Good, ready, and second side. Oh, beautiful, well done. Close. It would be left on the second side. Yeah. And heel tap. Well done. Beautiful. Hey, great. Thank you very much. So hopefully that was helpful just to see those little hand movements. I know it's difficult when we've got our back to you if you're not quite sure. Excellent. Well, we have just about enough time to go through the Immortals once. It would be nice just to keep it on the radar. Do you think we've room to do both together? Just about? Do I dare try and do it, mirror?
No,
Just do back view. Let's go through the Immortals once together, everyone. Just relax and enjoy. Let it flow. Yeah, okay, here we go. Lengthening up. And relaxing down. So it's good to visualize your very first movement before you do it, so you know which form you're doing. This form you scoop left hand under first. Ready? And open. Hello, tree.
It doesn't give a fake.
Good. Just notice your heart rate, your breathing, how your muscles feel, how your system feels. Give it that moment to process, to calm. Well done. And ease from your stance. Excellent. Gosh, we've still got 3 minutes left. I think we went like the clappers through that maybe. Very well done. Yeah, it is a challenging wee form, but you know what? That's how we progress. We do the basics, we look at the basics, and then we just let rip and see what happens with the more advanced stuff. We can definitely improve by repeating the advanced stuff, but we can really help ourselves with the basics as well. Do you have any feelings on that?
Well, just explain one move at a time. It's always good to take one move and go more in depth.
Yeah.
I think everybody can benefit.
Definitely. So
including ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe come back to that a little bit more with the Immortals at some stage and just revise and clarify each step. But for now, let's have a wee warm down. Good. So gently turning center. Good. And now let's cup the hands and give the legs a little pat. Again, each structure that you can reach, try to give everything a little bit of attention. And up the body again. Good. Into the chest and shoulders. Kidneys. Whatever you can reach in your back. Good. And rub your hands, please, vigorously together. I'm going to do a little pat down, showering with energy. So we lift up and gently. Just try and cover all the structures, down the front, sides, down the arms. As you do this, you can think of any fatigue, any tiredness, any pains or issues leaving your system like dust flying away, turning to light, down the back, the outside, the inside, and brush. Sorry folks, it's my phone, just ignore it. Brush down, brush, brush, brush. Each and every part, just give it a little bit of release. Do you know, I turned my phone over. I thought that was to mute it. Maybe it's taken itself off that setting. Sorry about that. Let's do a little bounce. 100 ailments go away. Nice and relaxed. And if you can't do that comfortably, try even just shrugging your shoulders and releasing. Good. And stand, please. Listen to your body. Feel for all of those little sensations. Feel for the tingling, bubbling. Feel the energy express. Lovely. Now let's gather that energy in to cover center. Hug your elbows gently in and breathe. Releasing, relaxing down into your center. If you can, think of focusing your awareness like you're using your hands as lenses, focusing the energy into the very center of the belly to a single pinpoint of light. Breathing into that point of light like a tiny sun. Feel your energy is stronger. Ah, beautiful. Well done, everyone. Relax your arms gently down, easing from your stance. And I'd like to say a big thank you for joining us today, for working so hard. Thank you, Willem, for your insight and little S-shape exploration. That's really cool. We can have a play with that, making our circles bigger and smaller, coming through center, finding that center point, and changing direction. I'm going to play with that as well. So thank you. Let's salute. We'll say thank you to Willem. Lao Shi Hao. Thank you, Xie Sang Hao and Lao Shi Hao. I know we've got teachers in the room, virtual room as well. Folks, have a play, have a practice, have a wonderful weekend, and look forward to seeing you next time. Actually, I'm going to keep the recording open for a second if there's any feedback, if you want to say, how did you get on? You have to take yourself off mute first. That technical.
Very good, very enjoyable today. I like going through the Immortals at the end as well. It's been a while since I've done that, but it's good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very welcome. Thank you. Yeah, it was nice to cover it. Fiona, how did you get on? Okay. You're still on mute. Hold on. There. Can you unmute?
Yeah, I enjoyed that, and thank you for doing seated bits, because it's the stretching seated is it's hard not to bend your back, you know, because you feel as if you have to go down.
Yeah, well, but you're already at a 90-degree angle just by seating.
Yeah.
If you're extending your leg out, you're already in quite a stretch. And I know it feels like, oh, you know, I can't do this, but actually seated position is already working, you know, so any angle that you can bring into that stretch, you're in quite a stretch. Yeah, so, you know, if you think of that angle, will you see? So if we're doing the stretch, we're here, look at the angle, that's about 90 degrees. So if you're seated in a chair, you're already at 45. So a slight lean forwards and you're in that same position. So yeah, I think folks in chair, seated position can start to get an inferiority complex, thinking, gosh, everything's so hard, but actually it's just harder from the chair. So you're working harder already. So you need to do actually less. Less is more, believe it or not. But yeah, you did really well. Well done. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off the recording.